Hope you all are good today. It's a good day. We're back at it. Today I wanted to talk about what to do while you're waiting. Now, when I thought about waiting, I thought about it in a lot of different aspects. You know, whether you're waiting for a job, whether you're waiting for a bus, whether you're waiting for a call back. You know, I've experienced waiting in short terms, you know, whether I have to wait for something for the next 30 minutes or you're waiting for an order at a restaurant. So I feel like there's short-term waiting and then there's long-term waiting. We'll get into the long-term waiting first because I was thinking about what to make a video on next, and that's the first thing that popped in my head. I think I wrote a few things down that we should do, at least that I do, and I feel like that can help when we're waiting long term. And that's the first one I have on here is clean. Now, it doesn't have to be in that order, but if you have a dirty environment around you, it would be good to clean that up while you're waiting for something else to happen. I feel like cleaning heals. I feel like it fixes things that we don't always see. So being able to clean up your area, to feel like you're doing something while you're waiting, so it doesn't necessarily just feel like you're just sitting around. I do feel like it's good to sit around too, you know, and just relax. But sometimes I find myself just like dozing off, just like staring into space, you know, getting into deep thought. And I don't think that's necessarily healthy, because I'm not necessarily working towards something. I'm just kind of like, you know, just kind of there. So I want to be working towards something, planning something while I'm waiting. And it's tough. It's tough as a creator, you know, keeping it going. That's the challenge I'm facing right now, is being able to have an idea, not be able to execute it right away, but like just have the idea and wait until it can be executed. Wait until I have the resources, wait until I have the right things lined up to get it executed the way that I have it envisioned. And while I'm waiting for that, I'm trying to still work on other things, and that's where it's a little tricky, because I'm really excited about this thing. And a lot of times I've noticed about myself in the past is when I get excited about something and I'm waiting on a certain next thing to happen, you know, whether it's for example, let's say I want to shoot a music video, and I'm waiting on my camera person, waiting on their schedule, waiting on them when they're ready. And, you know, I remember just saying I'm gonna just do it myself, you know, and in doing it myself, it didn't have the same effect with the quality. So I got impatient. So when I think about times like that, I think, you know, what could I have done while I was waiting? You know? Because if it's already in play and you don't have the right things to make it happen, like, just keep working at it, keep building at it, you know. And that's what I'm learning too, is not to rush it, not to rush something you really care about. And it's really hard to do. I don't know why that's so hard to do. And I'm like, I've heard it. My mom told me that all the time, you know, whether it's in my relationship with my woman, you know, when we first started getting close, and my mom was like, take your time, you know, take it slow. And she's always told me that in regards to women, you know, take it slow. No need to rush it if it's right. You know, there's no need to rush something if it's right. So 29 years old, I'm learning that. So don't feel bad if you're still learning that. You know, I think it comes with the things that we've been through, and the things that we've had to wait through, and the things that, you know, I do feel like there are times where man, it's so tough. I do feel like there's times when you should just go for it, not necessarily wait for everything. But I feel like that's a whole other subject. What else I got on here? I have organized, and that kind of goes with cleaning. So just organizing your space, organizing your car, organizing documents. Doing the dishes, reorganizing your room, just doing something exciting that makes you feel like you're still working on something, keeping things afloat. The other thing I have on here is fix old relationships. Now, I do find it healthy whether or not let's say I go a long time without talking to somebody that I used to be really close with, and the relationship didn't end on like, hey, like we're not gonna talk anymore. It was just suddenly no communication. Now, I feel like for them, they're probably wondering why I haven't communicated. And for me, I'm wondering why they haven't communicated. So to make sure that they know that my feelings are still fine, like I don't have any bad feelings towards them, I reach out and I'm like, hey, hope you're still doing good. My pride hasn't been too big to do that. I've done that in a lot of situations. Now, I do feel like there's certain people you should probably just stay away from. I've learned that as well. Reaching back out didn't bring up the best memories or feelings. It just, it didn't. But I do feel like if there was just old relationship, just fixing old relationships. It doesn't have to be a bad relationship. It's just somebody you used to talk to or somebody you were good friends with, had a good time, had a good experience with, and just reach out to them and let them know, hey, hope all is good, I'm good, hope you're good. And I feel like that's a good thing to do while we wait. Helps strengthen bonds. And it just keeps things going, keeps things smooth. I have work on yourself. Now that's pretty broad, but you can look at that in a lot of different ways. Self-care, just taking care of yourself, literally taking care of yourself. Doing your hair, putting on lotion, like basic stuff, brushing your teeth. And there's a quote. It says, the squeaky wheel gets the grease. Now, that's an amazing quote, by the way. Basically saying, if you want something, you have to basically be annoying, like make yourself known that you're there and that you want that thing. And I think that is huge when it comes to waiting, because while you're waiting, it's good to have reassurance on what you're waiting for. So whether you're checking back in like, hey, are we still good to go on that? I feel like that's totally fine. I don't feel like that's rushing the process. It's just getting an update, So whether it's a job, call them back like, hey, just waiting to hear back. Haven't heard anything back. Just waiting to see when I will hear back. So at least how long you have to wait. I think some of the hardest things is waiting for things that we don't know how long we have to wait for. That's a tough thing to wait for, is things you don't know how long you have to wait. So that's kind of what I wanted to talk about when it comes to waiting, at least long-term waiting. Short-term waiting is a little different. I haven't put too much thought into it. I'm sure it's very similar. Probably not as a big deal to wait short-term. So yeah, that's today's episode. Hope y'all are doing good. Till next time.